All right, folks. Arizona, Florida, and Texas real estate markets are looking like they're going to just blast off. Boom, big time, folks. Everyone's leaving New York. It's a mass influx. And let me tell you this. Even Muslims are leaving New York, okay? We're going to talk to my friend Beck Lover, who's a very outspoken type of activist. I would say I'm going to ask him, but I think he's Sunni Muslim. I'll ask him all the differences in Sunni, Shia, the whole thing. He is going to be on my show in just a few minutes. He's in the back room right now, and we're going to be talking about that. He's fleeing New York. He's getting the hell out of there. He's like, Dave, I didn't sign up for this. So, I mean, at least everybody recognizes communism. Folks, hit that notification button. Hit the notification button. I appreciate the prayers. My dad is still in the fight for his life. Yep, he's still in it. We're getting a feeding tube. It's not what I want. This is something that it's tough. So I just appreciate everyone that's praying for my father. So hit the notification button, share, like, and subscribe. Venmo is D-ROD 1977. If you appreciate me, I absolutely appreciate you. I do this day after day. And like I said, my podcast might be a little sporadic right now with what I'm dealing with in my personal life. It's been my private life. So I have no fixed schedule right now. So I'm calling people on the whim and saying, hey, you want to do a podcast? It's just that way right now because I can't schedule anything because at any moment's notice, I have to go to the hospital. So that's just the way it's been. When the lights go out on Amazon, folks, when the lights go out on Amazon, please leave an honest review. You know what to do. I wrote that book on my iPhone. Yes, I wrote it. Yours truly wrote the whole book. No ghostwriter. I had an editor for grammatical errors because you all know I make a lot of grammatical errors. Also, the Mexican Mix, my mama's book. Obviously, the last book she'll ever write. She suffers from severe dementia, and this was her last gift to my family. So the Mexican Mix right there. Also, folks, get your Noble Gold. Noble Gold, the Fed's out of options, rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. Inflation's eating savings, the job market's slowing, and confidence in the dollar is tanking fast. For decades, the Fed built a house out of paper, and now it's starting to burn, folks. That's why smart investors are moving to what is real, and that's gold and silver. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com now and get your free wealth protection kit today. noblegoldinvestments.com. Noble Gold Investments, folks. Get down there, get started, and I dropped my pen. Of course I did. I'm back. All right. So let's get into this. Oh, one more thing. Nino Boxer, patriotwear.com, ninoscorner.tv, ringside with Nino is on the 12th. Get over there and subscribe right now. I think it's only like $11 a month, and we get to war game together twice a month. We do it twice a month, all of us together. It's a huge community, and we all chat on the side. And if you're bored on a Wednesday night, join the community. It's on ninoscorner.tv. I send you a Zoom link, and we have a blast together, and we all just spit ideas and where we think all this is going. We war game the deep state war together, and that's on ninoscorner.tv, ringside with Nino. A lot of lonely people on there, and we have fun together. And if you're sober like me, it's pretty much all you can do. Also, the General's tent, November 20th. It's Mary Fanning, unless that changes. But it's November 20th, 5 p.m. Ringside with Nino's also 5 p.m. And on ninoscorner.tv, I got Wano Savin. The Ghost is coming back on. We're going to finish that up. Sheila Holm is coming back on today. Big news cracking with that. Larry Ballard is up there right now in a PowerPoint presentation discussing the new America, Trump's new America. And Timothy Alberino is coming on. Woo, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a real good one because we're talking about all the cryptids. What are they really? The Nephilim. We're talking about everything. Megalithic structures, how they were built. This guy, that's what he spends his life on, folks. This guy's an amazing explorer and historian and researcher. Also, I have George Lewis and Leo Zagami. Leo Zagami's coming back on to talk about the Jesuit agenda and so much more. Alex Soros, the Mamdani connection, the whole thing. And without further ado, folks, you might want to turn it down or turn it up, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah. All right. Crisis in New York. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's getting the hell out of Dodge. And this guy who's going to put this, 11% tax or on corporate tax, he's going to tax people even if they leave. There's no escaping his wrath. I mean, this has to be unconstitutional if I've ever heard of it. But so Mamdani now is forcing over 700,000 multimillionaires to get the hell out of Dodge. What is New York going to look like? I'll tell you what it's going to look like. A ghost town. They're probably going to be having, you saw the video of Muslim prayer in Times Square. That's probably going to be happening on the regular now. That's going to be whenever they do it. I'm sure 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗹 will tell me when they do this. So crisis in New York, massive migration as DOJ prepares explosive Brennan investigation. Now, this is all leading to Gitmo. You all understand this, but this has to be walked by the public. The public has to see and feel and experience the process. That's why these indictments are coming out the way they are. And a lot more are scheduled to come out, I heard today or tomorrow. So as we take the Queen piece, and I think she's just too old, Nancy Pelosi, we get checkmated by Mamdani. But did we get checkmated? Or is this really a checkmate? Or is this going to be a microcosm of an experiment that the whole world watches fail? And I think that's where it's going. He's the necessary boogeyman we must keep out in the open to show just how bad this Sharia law, communist, Marxist agenda is. And it's going to fail, believe me. It has no room in America, believe me. It's going to end up being a very, very fatal move on their part for the deep state. And you know, everything happening right now, folks, everything is a page torn right out of Albert Pike's 3 World Wars, his playbook. This is it right here. Go back and look into that. It's so obvious how this is playing out. Wall Street apes, right, on X. Now, a lot of people say, well, this was an old video. I don't know about that. Muslims ripping down American flags in New York City. I think it's pretty clear how and why Zohan Mamdani was elected, whether they were doing it before or after. It tells you where their mindset's at. But we're going to talk to one Muslim. Do you say Muslim? Today, that's totally against all this, and he's leaving New York. He's migrating the hell out of there. He's moving to Dallas. And I'll bring him on in just a second. So there's the video of the guy tearing down the flags. Now, I don't know if this is old or present or, well, I don't know. But it's pretty much shows you what they're planning to do to New York. I mean, why are you in America if you don't respect our flag, our Constitution? And folks, they don't. They don't. You cannot, and my argument is, and I'll talk to 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗹 about this, you cannot, Sharia law, at least as I know, Sharia law cannot coexist with the sovereignty of American people. They impose it on you. They force it upon you. And I'm going to talk to him about all of this today, and maybe he can clear it up. So it is said, Islam is not here to integrate. It's not here to live peacefully. Islam is here to overthrow America and turn us into an Islamic state under Sharia law. Now, I'm quoting this. And as communists make their move on America, the DOJ is now actively preparing to issue grand jury subpoenas relating to John Brennan investigation. All roads lead to who? Obama. Barack Obama. Yep. All roads lead to Obama. 30 or more FBI subpoenas related to Russiagate investigations are going to come out either today or tomorrow. That's when they're scheduled. That's what I'm hearing. The FAA is shutting down airspace. You kind of wonder, is that all orchestrated? Is that engineered? Nearly 2,000 flights delayed or canceled as FAA orders shutdown flight reductions. The Trump administration has revoked 80,000 non-immigrant visas. This is insane. U.S. official says President Donald Trump's administration has revoked around 80,000, folks, non-immigrant visas since his inauguration in January for offenses ranging from driving under the influence to assault and theft, and senior State Department officials said on Wednesday. The extent of the revocations, first reported by Washington Examiner, reflects a broad immigration crackdown initiated when Trump came into office, deporting an unprecedented number of migrants, including some who held valid visas. They always got to throw stuff in there like that. Pope Leo, I told you he was going to resurface this turd. Pope Leo offers his strongest criticism of Trump yet. See, what they're hoping is to get all these Catholics going, ay, pobrecito, ay, pues you got to let the migrants in. Pope Leo says so. We must obey God. You're castrating us. They're driving us out. Pues we belong in America. We were there first. Pope Leo has called for deep reflection on how migrants are treated in the United States. Dude, tear down your fucking walls at the Vatican and let them in there. Throw sleeping bags. Give them all your fucking gold, okay? That big gold ring, that funny little hat, all that stuff. Give it up. Give them all your money. Nah. But you want to tell other people how to live their life, right? In some of the strongest criticism to date, the President Donald Trump's administration, the first ever U.S.-born Pope, also warned. This was also strategy. This was such strategy right here to get a Pope, a Chicago-based Pope. This was just design. It was done by design. The first ever U.S.-born Pope also warned that the U.S. bombing of Venezuela's ships suspected of carrying drugs risked increasing tensions in the region because the drugs are good for people. Don't you understand? Do not stop the drugs. Do not stop the drugs. Drugs are good for people. You got to give it to them. They have to have the drugs. Okay, yes. Let all the people in. Let them in from the third world countries. Let them all in. Let them all in. And give them the drugs. Give them the drugs. It's just, I told you what he was going to be doing, and this is what he's doing, folks, okay? DOJ actively preparing to issue grand jury subpoenas relating to John Brennan. Justice Department officials in Miami and Washington, D.C. are actively preparing to issue several grand jury subpoenas relating to an investigation into former CIA Director John Brennan, Fox News has learned. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, Jason Redding Quinones, is supervising the probe, Fox News has said. Fox News reached out to the Justice Department, but sources were there declined to comment. Fox News first reported that Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey were under investigation as early as July 2025. Thursday's development intensifies the investigation. Comey is fighting his case in court with a trial set for January. Brennan has not been indicted, and it's unclear if a grand jury would indict him, but evidence will be presented in South Florida. So we're all waiting, biting our nails. Nancy Pelosi, well, she's gone. How many decades was she in the spotlight? Nancy Pelosi won't seek re-election, ending her storied career in the U.S. House. Folks, this is why they need to have term limits, okay? What is she? How old is Nancy Pelosi? She's got to be like 84, 83, 84, 85, somewhere in the mid-80s. She ain't got long to go. Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi will not seek re-election to the U.S. House, bringing to a close her storied career as not only the first woman in the Speaker's office, but arguably the most powerful in American politics. Pelosi, who has represented San Francisco for nearly 40 years, announced her decision. And let me tell you, what's her salary? Like, let's round it up, $200,000 maybe a year. And she's worth how many millions? Hundreds of millions of dollars on a salary that's, $150,000 to $200,000 a year. She has stayed in there for 40 years. Am I reading this right? That's insanity. Absolute insanity. And she's leaving a hand over fist multi-millionaire. It's just ridiculous. Beck, let's bring on Beck. Beck Lover, my man, how are you?
David, you know where I stand. When you see the shirt, you know where I stand, bro.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I get it, dude.
Okay, but Dave, you're falling for the trap a little, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm not actually, but we'll talk about that. I'm not falling for any
There's
trap.
a lot going on, you know. A lot going on.
But it, like I've always said, though, this is part of the pit of putting us all against each other, which we all know this is what they're doing for this.
They're doing a phenomenal job.
Desired holy war, correct?
Phenomenal job, Nino. So first and foremost, Nino, thank you as always for giving a bridge and a platform to try to stop Armageddon. or the apocalypse, as you call it.
Bro, yeah.
For those that don't know me, first time
I don't think we can stop it, but we can enjoy it.
It's scripture, but if we could delay it a generation, at least for our kids' sake, bro, because no one can stop it, right? No one can stop it. It's prophecy. It's gonna happen sooner or later, and that's something that, you know, Muslims and Christians share in common. They both believe that Christ will return. He's the Messiah, chosen one, anointed by God, and that there will be a human being who rises to tell the world he's the savior, but he's nothing but a deceiver, nothing but a liar, and he will rule supreme over the earth.
So then,
and he's known as the Antichrist.
Okay, but so with you saying this, you respect Jesus Christ. Do you look at him as
respect
as
is not the word. I would argue, in many ways, I think we might even respect him more, brother. We don't let them mock him. We don't let them make, you know, a movie like Nicolas Cage, making him look like a monster. You heard about
but hold on, but you don't believe he is the Messiah.
No, Messiah means the anointed one, chosen by God. It means anointed. Okay. So that's the word Messiah. That's what it means.
Okay, so
the Greek translation is Christos.
Okay, so you are Muslim, not Christian, correct? Am I?
I am like the majority of Muslims, right? Almost 2 billion of us who believe that the Virgin Mary, peace and blessings be upon her, the most important woman in Islam. She has her own chapter in the Holy Quran. We believe that God sent Jesus Christ through her womb to the earth to bring the lost sheep of Israel back on the path of God. And instead of doing that, they chopped John the Baptist's heads off, and then they tried to crucify him. The difference between Christians and Muslims is we don't believe he was crucified, which I know is a very core fundamental of your faith. We believe God answered his prayers and did not let anything happen to him, which is why he's going to return. So that's a core fundamental difference.
So do you believe he was never crucified, and what happened? He just went into hiding, or what?
We believe the one who deceived him is the one that was hung on that cross. But that's not what this show is about. We should do the whole special episode on that where we can.
So it's a different turn of events with Jesus Christ. You believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah, but you believe that he was.
We believe he spoke from the moment he was born. Literally, his first miracle was to defend the honor of the Virgin Mary. In your tradition, he didn't really start doing miracles until his 30s. He came down, he was a carpenter, and then he started preaching. His whole message was about 3 years long before the whole thing with the Romans happened. But from the Islamic perspective, we believe the minute he was born, he spoke. And his first miracle was to defend the honor of his mother. Because when Mary was pregnant, peace and blessings be upon her, she wasn't married. No man impregnated her. So for her to be seen carrying a child under the Israelite law, they would have stoned her to death for adultery. So she was under lock and key for her action. And once she delivered Christ, she was ordered by God, from the Muslim perspective, she was ordered to go into the wilderness and to deliver Christ. And then God commanded her in the Quran, when you go back to the town, do not speak. You will not speak to anybody. If anybody approaches you, point to the baby. So from the Muslim perspective, once she delivered Christ, she went back into the town, whether it was Bethlehem or wherever it was, carrying this baby, and the Israelites gathered against her. Oh, and they started calling her really bad names. Because to carry a baby without being known marriage, remember, she's a daughter of Jacob, right? One of the prophets. They gathered against her, and they started calling her all kinds of names. And how could you have a baby, and you're, the most immoral of women? And the Quran says, she pointed to Christ and he said, do not attack my mother, for she is blessed in this life and the next.
I've never read that. I don't understand where does it say that? Where is that written?
Chapter Mary of the Holy Quran. See, but this is what I'm saying. Okay. And you touch a very valid point here. And no offense to you, Nino, you're in a very important position. You're someone that people listen to. There is an agenda that benefits the people that are running this world to create chaos, between the two largest Abrahamic faiths. I ask you simply as my brother, I've known you for over 5 years now. Is it the Muslims that have been pushing these agendas against your children in America? Is it the Muslims who control the lobbies that push alternate lifestyles on your children? Is it the Muslims who control the websites that so many of your men and our men fall victim to, which destroys their souls? Is it the Muslims that own the gambling websites and the casinos and push alcohol and drugs on your children? Because that's really the biggest problem right now. Okay, that's the biggest problem in America.
I understand that.
The family unit was destroyed, Nino. Destroyed.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
And bastards. We are a
no doubt about that at all. And they're pitting all the religions against each other. I know that 100%.
Who does
it? But Sharia law.
Let's get to that.
Cannot coexist with people that if someone's doing something that they want to do, that's their free will. If a woman does not want to wear habib or habab around her head, whatever it's called, I don't know. It's her right. You don't have the right to enforce her to do that.
256. There is no compulsion in religion.
So you're a Sunni Muslim, correct?
I'm a Muslim. Now, just like Christianity has sex.
Well, there's Sharia and Sunni, correct?
Yeah, let me finish, though. Because you're bringing up an important point. These are not simple answers with all the propaganda you guys have been fed. You guys have been fed. You guys, I'm not saying just you, Nino. Fake news, fake news. It's all fake news. It's fake news for everything else. But when the Muslim stands back and says, guys, this same media that's been playing with you guys is pushing this narrative. You guys like this. Whoa, yeah, let me eat it up. Let me tell you the other side of the story. Who does it benefit if Christians and Muslims fight? Who does it benefit?
The bankers, the powers that be, the elite, the Zionists.
Online, you're seeing calls for crusades.
Right.
I've lived in America my entire life. I'm born and raised in this country. My family escaped a communist country. My great-grandfather did 28 years in a gulag in Albania. My great-grandmother was hung off a tree. My mom was a part of the Albanian royal family. Her family, her great-uncle was the minister of the royal court of King Zug in Albania, the only country that provided refuge to every Jew during the Holocaust. Okay? The only country. Where am I going with all this? There is an agenda.
Okay, but all Muslims do agree that Sharia law comes from the Quran and the Sunnah? Is it the Sunnah teachings of the Prophet?
Following the tradition of the Prophet, right? Just like you as a Christian, you live within America, but you're not gonna violate God's law, right? So Sharia is extremely similar to Christian law. What does that mean? You can't kill, you can't oppress. Taqiyya is not a core principle of Islam. This is something made by extreme Christian right-wingers, and I'm going to prove it right now. I got facts. I got receipts. To create this animosity that they've been using against you guys. They've been doing a great job. Keep focusing on Muslims, less than 1% of your population, while we keep sending your men and boys to war. Millions and millions and millions of people are dead. And who does it benefit? It's not benefiting America. We're almost bankrupt, brother. This whole system's coming down, whether we want it or not. The whole
so why are you let's get into this whole Mamdani effect here, because would you embrace him as your own?
No.
Why the hell are you getting the hell out
nothing
of
about him? Nothing about him's Muslim. Nothing. Zero.
Okay, so explain that to my audience.
I don't know. Explain to me why he's in pictures with Alex Soros everywhere. Explain to me why all of his staff is Cuomo's former staff. Explain to me how he's not a globalist puppet who I believe has been put in power so that when they pull a false flag, as they're pumping anti-Muslim propaganda to distract what's been going on in the Middle East for the last 3 years, which has completely tipped the scales of balance, we should be more worried about as Americans protecting the First and Second Amendment, especially the first, under the Constitution, demanding a ratification of the Bill of Rights where social media is classified as the new public square. I ask you, who owns all these websites? Is it the Muslims that have been suppressing you?
No. You're actually right about
that. Have been censoring you, that you can't talk and say certain words, and you say you're in a free country? You guys are focused on the wrong thing in America, bro.
Well, if you go to Plano or Dearborn, Michigan, it's a little bit different over there.
I visited Epic Center. I'm going there again, brother. You guys don't have a problem when the Chinese have a Chinatown, the Amish have Amish land, Mormon have.
They don't enforce their beliefs on other people.
Who's enforcing?
They don't enforce grocery stores to stop selling pork.
Nino.
They don't yell at women walking down the street without their garments on, bro. I mean, that's what's been said to happen.
Let me ask you a question. You got idiots everywhere. Okay.
100%.
If I was to play the game that Christians and I think other people, that's not really Christians. I think it's other people pushing this narrative.
It is. We agree on that.
I don't believe
100%.
it's Christians.
We agree on that.
But if I wanted to play that game and do the same, like if I had the loudspeaker, because all they have is a loudspeaker. It's not the majority. Should you be held responsible as a Christian for what David Koresh did in Waco? Is that Christianity? I'm just asking you. So when you guys mention terms like tequila,
there's fanatics in every religion. I agree with you on that.
It's not even fanatics. They'll take little things. They'll take things and twist it. So Mamdani.
But see, when you first entered this conversation, you're saying you believe Jesus Christ as the Messiah. You just believe he died a certain way, a different way. So that way you can kind of you can slide in and kind of appease to the Christian crowd. You don't believe he is the savior of the world. You don't believe Jesus Christ. You do. You do. Okay.
We believe towards the end of time there will be a human being.
So you're a Christian. You're a Christian.
Well, if that's what makes me a Christian, I believe in the God of Abraham. I don't believe you should make idols or pray to anyone but God. Okay. And I believe God sent prophets throughout the earth. Fundamentally, Nino, Muslims are actually conservative. Why they're voting the other way is because what's happened in the Middle East is so radical. I'm still, like, as far as Americans are concerned, I'm not left or right, bro. I don't believe in either side anymore. It's the choice between Coke or Pepsi. They'll give you the low-hanging fruit. They'll talk about reproductive rights. They'll talk about, same lifestyle choices. They give you low-hanging fruit that doesn't affect geopolitics at all, really, like the world. They use these radical, elements while they're screwing us. Taxes are going through the roof. Another war, 40 trillion in debt, 1 trillion in interest a year. We're focusing on low-hanging fruit bullshit that doesn't even matter in the scheme of what's coming for all of us, what's coming for Christians, Muslims, atheists. I don't care what you are. And it's the same. Let me ask you, do you believe the official story from what happened in New York? Honestly.
No.
Okay.
Like, do I believe he won?
No, I'm talking about what happened in September.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
okay,
not.
So let me ask you this.
So that was the prelude to where we're at now. I agree with you on that.
Let me ask you this.
There's a story playing out. And
building number 7.
I'm there with you on that. And that's where my audience
so if you're there for me with that. You, the audience, ask yourselves. I see it all the time. I don't believe the story. I don't believe this. Well, if you don't believe it, then why do you hate Muslims? They told you there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Hang on. Weapons of mass destruction. 1 million dead Iraqis, Nino. Who put Saddam Hussein in power?
I'm not disagreeing with you on that principle. Okay. I get that. I understand that. But they are introducing listen.
Good.
I understand who's controlling the strings here. I get it. I get that part 100%. And they're pitting everyone. It's like a boxing promoter putting 2 fighters together in the ring with different beliefs. Who put them in the ring? The promoter did. I understand the hand up there controlling everything.
Who benefits?
But the hand up there does. The promoter does.
Everyone's waking up.
Right. But
Candace,
it still doesn't take away the fact that if you introduce these Muslims, Sharia Muslims, that they believe their religion, Sharia, is divine and unchangeable, okay, there's going to be, you cannot coexist with the Constitution, with the way they believe. I see a lot of problems.
You know that in Islam, that Muslims are commanded by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that when they live in a foreign nation, they must abide by the rules and laws of that nation and obey that ruler. That's number 1.
Not. Plano's not. They got their own government. They got their own community.
What do they have their own government, brother? They don't have their own police, like who in Brooklyn.
Lieutenant Deaton did a huge investigation on this.
They don't have their own ambulances. They bought a mosque, bro, and they bought some houses. Okay, you got people.
And they don't let anybody else in there.
You got Laura Loomer. You got Valentina Gomez, all on the payroll, by the way. Sensationalizing
I'm not going to debate that.
Sensationalizing something. So you guys focus, which if you think this is the biggest problem you guys have in America right now, America's not even going to survive. Less than 1% of the population.
I've said this. I've said this over and over again. This is a page torn out by 𝗷𝗃𝗀𝗏𝗏's playbook.
Before your perceived threat of Islam taking over America, like you guys are focused. Like your house is on fire already.
Beck, I agree with you on this, on that part. Yes, I do agree with you that. But I'm saying that it is impossible. They knew by introducing Sharia Muslims into this country, they would not coexist with people trying to abide by the Constitution.
Let me ask you a question.
That does not happen.
What's a kosher Jew? What's a kosher Jew?
The Hasidic Jews are the same.
Okay,
I agree with you, but
following Christian
they
rules?
But they're not as brutal and as hostile as the Muslims.
Who's beheading people here, bro? What are you talking about? Now let me prove to you how they push this narrative to divide us.
You're not
Watch
proving
this.
it to me. I get it. I understand this.
This is what here. So look, when we look here, okay, and you look at everything that's going on X, first of all, to get back to your communism, Islam and communism conflict at the core, okay? Not compatible in Islam. Short answer, Islam and communism are fundamentally incompatible in their core beliefs.
We can't see that screen, Beck.
Oh, you don't see it?
I mean, it's very small. You'd have to give it to Alex. There you go.
Oh, okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just putting this quick. You guys go do your research. The problem is everyone has 20-second TikTok brains. Nobody dives into any of these issues. And whatever the media feeds you, you guys take it. When it doesn't fit your narrative, it's fake news. When someone else is telling you, yo, they're playing a game with you, like, please just look, you guys eat it up. The same people that have been sending you to war after war after war as Americans. Nigeria is all over the news right now. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria's history. All the problems started from British colonialism. Had nothing to do with religion. They divided the North and the South on purpose. And then when they left, they put them together and lit the fuse. That's the same thing they're going to do in this country. It's all there. Go do the homework. Long-term impact of British rule. Single country with shared political boundaries, deep religious, regional, ethnic divisions, power struggle among 3 ethnic groups. Nigeria's diversity is ancient, but Britain created a modern state. What does it say? Many modern issues in Nigeria can be traced back to the colonial merging divide and rule system. That's where it all comes from. Sudan. You guys, I've seen you even posting videos. Oh, look, they're killing Christians in Sudan. The population is 97% Muslim. 97% Muslim. The videos that they're posting, here's one of them. I'll give you an example. They're showing this video all over X. It's a Christian boy. Look at the post. A Christian Sudanese begging for his life. You play the video. The Quran. He's praying the Quran. He's praying the Quran. And they'll use this video to galvanize you guys. You guys are going to be suckers that they're going to push into a battle. That's what they want because everyone's...
I'm not. I think you're mistaken here.
Not you.
This is why I'm not talking right now, is because I'm listening to you and I think you have me confused. I agree with this agenda. I understand this is the agenda.
Everyone's waking up.
Yes, I agree. This is the agenda 100%. I understand that, but I'm just saying that what I'm trying to figure out here, the fundamental difference is the imposing their beliefs on others. This is a desired cataclysm. This is a desired car wreck. What I'm saying is they have designed this. They have engineered this to happen in America with Barack Obama. That's why all roads lead to Obama. He's the one that brought in the millions of Muslims into the country. They understand that our belief systems will conflict. There will be confrontation.
That's another lie.
This was a planned demolition, is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying
that's where I agree with you.
The lies are
this is a planned demolition.
The lies are to make you think that Christians and Muslims need to go to war and fight each other. That's the lie. Nowhere in Islam in my entire life, and I prayed in mosques all over the world, have I ever been taught we need to fight Christians, we need to kill them. Now, do you have some preachers that say certain things? Listen, you're going to have radicals, brother. With the policies we've had, they talk about ISIS. Who allowed a former ISIS member just to take over Syria?
Isn't Sharia law radical?
No. Sharia law, thank God it came, because the Western democracy was based on trial by jury. Do you know where that comes from?
Between Sunni and
Do you know where trial from jury comes from? Sharia law. That's where it comes from.
Explain to me, you're not Sharia though, right?
I follow God's commandments. Don't kill, don't steal, don't lie.
You're not answering the question. Are you Sunni or Sharia? And what's the difference?
Sharia means following the rules of Islam, right? And that's open to interpretation. That's not like a set law with a book, right? They galvanize all these issues. So if a Jew's following kosher, are they radical now? Should they be? I mean, are they radical? Should they be thrown out of America? They got
my definition of radical is when you impose it on others and you
imposing it, brother?
And you punish others that don't believe in your system.
Have you ever had a Muslim knock on your door? All I've had is Mormons knock on my door and Jehovah's Witnesses.
I agree with that.
Now, as far as Times Square, when they were praying, I actually know a few of the people that led that prayer. Brother, they weren't blocking Times Square. It's a little section that they do during Ramadan. Nobody has a problem. Listen, no one has a problem when the Italians shut down for St. Gennaro's. Either we have freedom of religion in this country or not. Just say it. If you guys don't want freedom of religion, just say it. Have the courage to say it. But either you protect
that religion imposes itself on others.
Who's imposing?
And punishes it on others. Well, like when you hear about them taking away grocery stores are punishing people that sell pork or telling them not to do it or telling anybody not to do anything within their community. Why does Dearborn, Michigan only allow Muslims? Why does Plano only allow Muslims? That can't be allowed in America. You should be able to live where you want to live.
If they're harassing them, if let's say that what you're saying is true and it's on abroad, pick up the phone, call the police, say these people are coming to my store and harassing me. How simple is that? You're an American.
They are doing investigations in Plano.
Okay, that's good. I'm actually going out there soon myself too because I want to see it with my own eyes also. I'm actually making a documentary about all this. I can't wait to make it. But this is what I'm saying by taking the bait. Who's really the problem, you know? How many people have dual citizenships and allegiances to foreign countries?
I think you're missing everything I'm saying.
I think you're not understanding what I'm saying. You guys we have a bigger problem as Americans. Everyone's waking up.
My audience understands who the puppet masters are. We get that.
And the distraction.
What I'm saying is they're putting in the desired ingredients to make this dynamite, this explosion in America.
Cataclysmic.
Right. And that's where I agree with you on.
And I'm fearing that they put this asshole in place who sits there with rainbow flags like this. There's nothing Muslim
here you are calling him an asshole. So explain why you don't like
Muslim about him, bro. There's nothing Muslim about it.
Explain why you don't like Mandam.
You cannot push those types of lifestyles and call yourself a Christian or a Muslim. It's an abomination in your book, yeah? The guy's over there like
he's the rainbow stuff. That's
as left as you can get. The guy came out of nowhere. The guy's backed by Soros and all the Cuomo
so why are the Muslims backing him then? If they don't, what he is saying, what he's preaching, which I agree with you, is
low-hanging fruit. He's promising them things that he couldn't enforce even if he wanted to. If BB comes to America, I'll arrest him. Because the issue in the Middle East became so galvanized. Even Candace Owens got pulled into, right? Everyone's pulled into that issue of what happened over there and what's been going on. So because of how galvanized it is, and people want the war to end and the bloodshed and all that shit, he's using that as fruit of like, hey, I'm really with you guys. He's not with anyone. He's not with Muslims, Christians, anyone that believes in God, bro. Period. He's a clown, bro.
So you're saying he's really not Muslim. You don't accept him as one of your own.
To create this illusion, stir the hatred, fuel it to take distraction off who's really destroying this nation, who's passing these laws, who's stopping you from speaking as a free American, Nino Rodriguez, who's pushing filth on your children.
Stopping me from shit.
Okay, but they've been trying, brother. We've been speaking me and you have been speaking in code for 5 years, brother. We couldn't even walk into grocery stores in 2019. Everyone forgot about that. People still don't want justice for what happened when they shut down the world. I lost 20 people when they closed the world down, put on ventilators. It's like, where's the memory, man? Charlie Kirk. I cried when he got assassinated. You know, I got attacked by Muslims because he was spewing a lot of hatred, bro. He was. And I was calling him out on X.
What hatred was Charlie Kirk spewing?
Muslims are this, they're not compatible, they're not cool. I still cried on camera. I got people yelling at me, you're a piece of crap, you're a traitor. I said, no, my man. I agree.
Muslims do not like Charlie Kirk?
Well, they didn't like because he was like justifying what's going on overseas, bro. How can you have a heart and justify that shit?
He made a big turn against those people in that little country in the middle. Got to be kind of bigger, but
I know.
You know what I mean? He made a big turn, and that's why I believe.
Yeah, a lot of us believe, bro. Okay. And let me tell you, I cried because for the majority of what he stood for, I believed in. I, as a Muslim, have said this publicly already, not even on your show. I'll say it again. I swear to God, I wish this country was a Christian nation. I wish this country was being run by the rules of Christianity. It's not, Nino. You can sit there and lie and look in the mirror. There's nothing Christian about it, brother.
Corruption.
From its inception.
Corruption built this country.
From its inception. Why did the first pilgrims come? Because Christians were massacring each other in Europe. That's why they left. That's why they came. That's why there was no official state religion. Because Protestants and Catholics, 4 to 15 million estimates, before they came here, they were trying to escape from over there. So they made the law of the land, no official religion. Everyone has a right to practice their faith. I love this country with all my heart. Can you, as a fellow Texan, my cousin Brian, who's going to be in my documentary, did 2 tours in Fallujah. He's a Muslim American, born and raised in America. Lost half his platoon in Iraq. How do you think he feels hearing the nonsense coming out of Texas and across the country? Is he less American? I just want to know. He lost half his buddies. He's got PTSD.
Okay, let me just say something.
I mean, it's like, where do we say someone's American or not? How about 30% of African Americans that came here? You know,
my neighbors in my neighborhood are Muslim.
Okay, So you
Okay,
should
I
know
have a
by that.
mosque half a mile down the road. Okay, not I have a mosque, but there's a mosque I
they
don't have
trying
a
to-
problem. I don't have a problem with these. They don't impose nothing on me
Are they trying
at
to kick
all.
your door
I'm
in
going to tell you
and
that
shove
right
the
now.
Quran down your throat? I mean, did they knock on
No,
your door?
not at all. Never.
Okay,
They're
so
very nice to
come on,
me,
man.
and I get along with them very well. And that is the truth, folks. I'm not lying about that. I have neighbors that are Muslim. I grew up with them. I ate all their food. Okay, I'm telling you, I have Muslim neighbors. They never, but there's a new kind of Muslim coming in from the Middle East that's very radical. That was brought in, engineered. It was engineered by design to bring them in, just like we brought in the immigrants from South America, from fucking Venezuela. You know, it's a certain class of people, a certain belief to ruin America. Do you agree with that?
I never agreed with open borders, ever.
Okay.
And the UK, I understand their grievances. Okay. But the UK, man, it's kind of hard to feel bad for them, bro. About 200-300 million people lost their lives because of their policies in the last 150 years alone, bro. Let alone the Irish, who are supposed to be Christian also, right? But they're Catholic. I mean, like, we can get, this is very complicated stuff. You guys just want 20-second answers. This didn't just start yesterday. When do you want to start the clock? When do you want to start? Where's the starting point? Was it October that day? Was it before? Was it before World War II?
So you're telling me that Muslims that come here, a true Muslim will respect other religions, even if it's Christian?
They have to. You understand that the first Muslims,
they can coexist, is what you're saying.
Yes, the first Muslims were commanded by the Prophet Muhammad to go to a Christian kingdom known as the 𝗬𝗧cie, the ancient king of Abyssinia. That's where they sought refuge. Have things happen? Nino, Muslims controlled Spain. It wasn't even called Spain by that. That's another misconception of history. They conquered Spain. It wasn't called Spain. It was
the wars throughout time have been Christians versus Muslims, Muslims versus Christians.
But
now we're bringing us all together in America to start this desired war.
Was it because of doctrine?
Hold on.
Or was it because of corrupt leaders?
So let me ask you this. And just clarify this. Do you believe they're bringing in the Sharia Muslim from the Middle East into America for a desired conflict?
No.
And a false flag will create this.
I believe they have allowed the borders to be open. Intelligence agencies of countries that it would benefit for a false flag to happen, to distract from what's been going on in the Middle East, because everyone's waking up and everyone's going, no, it's actually you guys. It's actually not these guys you've been telling us for the last 50 years. Actually, you're the ones that have been pushing this nonsense, this filth, the system. It's actually you guys. Actually, what did we get as Americans in Afghanistan, bro? What did we win? Nothing. What the hell did we get there, bro?
Nothing. But I totally
20+ years of war. We left the top. George Walker Bush, Dick Cheney. Good luck, Dick Cheney, on the other side. We're gonna go to Afghanistan. We're gonna take out the Taliban. 24 years later, trillions of dollars. We left them with more weapons than we found them. Iraq never found weapons of mass destruction. 1 million people dead.
I had a guy on my show.
1 million people.
I had a guy on my show who actually was moving the uranium in Iraq for the Bush family. Okay, moving them around. It was called a yellow cake, and he was the one busy doing that, moving the yellow cake around. There was the weapons of mass destruction were put there by us. Was put there by us.
Do we have books that disrespect Jesus Christ and say certain things about him and his mom? I mean, do we have books like that in our religion? Do you know that a Muslim in a Muslim country, if he was to disrespect Jesus Christ, he would be in serious trouble? He'd probably be in jail or
so you're saying Muslims are respectable people. They won't
the overwhelming majority
and try to kill Christians. They won't throw those certain type of people off the roof. You know what kind of people I'm talking about? They won't throw them off roof.
This is simple. Right? This is very simple. All you have to do and your audience has to do is see who put who in power after the fall of 1912, after the fall of the Turkish Empire. Which Western nations put these dictators into power that have brutally oppressed their own people? You guys talk about Iran. This was leaked. This is now a fact. What did this do? What did they do in Iran, brother? People want to, I'm not supporting. I can't stand that regime. But here, like, what did they do, Nino? So I want to remind everyone, okay? What did it say? Look at what it says.
I'm not.
What does it say?
I can't
Declassified document. CIA acknowledges role in 53 Iran coup. What does that mean? It means the last time Iran was moderate, women were uncovered, they were modern. Our government overthrew their government, democratically elected, because we wanted their oil. We didn't want the Russians to get it.
All right. So what I'm getting here,
hang on. Which led to the Islamic Revolution and those dictators put in power. And then you guys want to hate the average Iranian. No, we're the reason they're living under that oppression.
I have Iranian friends. They're great people.
Now we want to go bomb them and kill them and blame them. Like, this is funny. That's
but you will say, okay, so we agree that there are certain sectors of Muslims, Christians, every religion
that are
radical and fanatical. You're against those Muslims, correct? You're against those type of Muslims.
Absolutely.
That want to inflict violence on Christians. You're against those Muslims.
Not just me. The overwhelming majority of Muslims condemn anyone that takes innocent life.
Okay, so this is important for people to hear from a Muslim. Okay,
but just like
you are saying that you condemn those type of Muslims that do that, correct?
How can you be a Muslim and take innocent life? God says in the Quran to take one life is
what makes an innocent life.
Only time a Muslim can defend themselves is in defense. And here's another big
defense of his beliefs or his life.
Another big misconception, pushed propaganda that a lot of you guys just eat it up. I'm not saying you, but audience, watch this. They always quote these verses in the Quran all over the news. And strike them wherever you find them and chop their necks. And they show that verse everywhere, right? But they don't give you the context. Let's see a simple Google search. Most of you have never even read the book or ever asked a Muslim. Most of you have consumed your hatred and your bias by the same people you claim that you're against, that you know that they play with you.
Hold on, I want you to just answer this question, man. It's simple.
Good.
So a Muslim believes they can take a life in defense of what? Of just their own life or their belief system?
No, we are not allowed to oppress. We're not allowed to oppress or be oppressed. If we want to get into the history game of corrupt rulers, brother, Christianity doesn't stand either. There's many things that were done.
No, 100%.
You understand that, right?
But in defense of what? If you're allowed to take a life in defense.
Let me prove it to you.
In defense of your life or your belief system.
Let me prove it to you.
Well, I'm asking you a simple question.
It's right here. I started me just talking out of my ass because people don't want to look and do the homework. I just beg people to go search themselves. Are the passages in the Quran about war to inspire offense against non-believers or defense? In mainstream Islamic scholarship, the Quran verses about fighting are understood primarily as defense. The Quran permits fighting when Muslims are persecuted for faith, driven from their homes, or under attack.
Go back to that. Quran permits fighting when Muslims are persecuted for faith. So what that's pretty vague right there. Persecuted for faith.
Yeah, it's like if I'm going to come and kill you just because you're a Muslim, I'm going to come blow you up and kill you. If you're being attacked, brother. You got to understand, when the Prophet Muhammad
there's different ways they interpret that, man.
Listen, if you want to get into that game, I'm telling you what the majority believe. I'm telling you how it is interpreted. You have radicals everywhere. And when you're invading countries, in my opinion, most of the time unjustly, you're going to create your own radicals. If somebody blew up your home unjustly, they said, you know what? Texas is hiding weapons of mass destruction. And then they invade and kill 1 million Texans. And there was never any weapons of mass. It was just a false flag to go in there. Some of you are going to want revenge. And
I'm not Muslims not want to make America a Muslim nation. Is that not the objective?
I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Is it the goal of Christians to make everyone a believer in Christ? In essence, spiritually, that's
because they want to save souls.
Exactly. So, and
but it is still free will.
So what's different then? That's the point.
So, but Muslims do want to come here and make it a Muslim nation, correct?
No, Nino. Just like Christians hope that people will find Christ, Muslims hope too, but it's not a commandment to go and kill them. Like, bro, you guys got this thing all backwards, bro. And I got the receipts. Look at the verses. Fight in the way of those who fight you, but do not transgress. Don't go over the boundaries. God does not love transgressors. Quran chapter 2. Permission to fight has been given to those who are being fought because they've been wronged. This is in the context of his lifetime. For the first 13 years, the first Muslims were massacred, tortured, beaten. Okay? There is no compulsion in religion. You cannot force. God doesn't want people that are forced into faith. What kind of faith is that?
See, but see,
last part, and I'm done. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Go ahead.
What about the verses that sound offensive? This is the one they love to quote. Kill them wherever you find them. The media, and so many of you just eat it up. But the verse right before and after restricts this to those who attacked the Muslims and expelled them from their homes.
But you already believe the Christians attacked you, so all Christians are
not random.
You feel Christians have attacked you, so all Christians are the enemy, correct?
No, that's not true. And also, if people do things out of ignorance, this is a faith of compassion, man. Brother, the closest to us in faith are Christians, period. Yeah, we don't agree on doctrine.
It's like, dude, you're sending me double signals here.
Let me finish, man. Protestant and Catholics wiped each other out for years. Look at Russia, Ukraine, both Orthodox Christian. Are they following Christianity? Or are they both sending each other to hell based on Christ's rules? That's what I'm saying. Good.
All right, let me knock this out, folks. This is good. I like this conversation. I really do. I hope everyone's enjoying this segment. But guess what, folks? Get your collagen. In a recent clinical trial this year, women who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, a 9% improvement in skin elasticity, and a 29% book in skin hydration. Proving collagen can visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. I take it every day. This is why I use today's sponsor, BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen, and I'm obsessed with the results it's giving my skin. BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen helps supercharge my skin health using 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. I've noticed smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, and a youthful glow. Plus, it also helps improve my joint health, bone strength, and connective tissues on top of my skin health, folks. So for a limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen for 51% off only at, I think it's, where is it? I think it's a Health with Nino, folks. That's what it is. So try when you do that, you get a free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free express shipping. Damn, they're making these scripts a little bit longer. Every single time, they're getting longer and longer. All right. So, all right, let's bring back on. Beck, there you are. I'm going to read some articles. Let's get your opinion on some of these articles. All right, enough with the holy war shit.
We're trying to stop that. Is what the hell we're trying to do.
And that's why I brought you on. Folks, that's why this is such an important podcast, because two different ideas here, but we still both believe the same rulers are controlling everything, and we're trying to wake up people and say, hey, wait a second here. Look around you. The puppet masters are at work. All right. So, frightening moment. I don't know if you saw this. Let's get your point of view on all this. Frightening moment. Trump fat drug announcement abruptly ends after a person suffers medical emergency in Oval Office.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Dude, this is not a sign not to take that shit from God.
You can't make this shit up. Not to take it, right?
Yeah, not to take it, bro. This is crazy.
I got to get on the treadmill soon. You know, I gained back 60 pounds like an idiot, man.
It's what happens, man. But you can lose it again. Trump's press conference abruptly. Dude, there's nothing like vitamin E. Exercise. That's it. You got to exercise. People are always trying to look for the quick fix. You can't get it. Trump's press conference abruptly ended after a member suffers a medical emergency. Press were told to leave the room during Trump's announcement regarding the drop in cost of GLP-1 medication, folks, when a company representative seemingly passed out during the conference.
Well, what if it was this, though, instead? I mean, how do we know?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
they're dropping like flies, bro. They're dropping like
flies. They're dropping like flies.
Like flies. May God have mercy on them. But how many people I personally know that have been injured and hurt? Now you could talk about it, but I still, we're so programmed not to ever mention the word.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know what you went through on YouTube. I know what I went through. And remember, 2019, that's how we met. We met not about any of this. We met because of what was going on with the shutdown. I was here on ground zero. I couldn't walk into restaurants defending the First and Second Amendment. And I'm going to say it again, until lobbying's made illegal, until people are not allowed to have citizenship anywhere else except the United States of America, until there's term limits, and until there's a ratification in the Bill of Rights that protects free speech in America, we are fallen, brother. It has too much impact on the world, color revolutions. The internet, free speech must be protected. Every American should make it a voting issue that there must be an amendment to free speech to update to today's technology, brother. There was no way the forefathers could have seen this. The public square is now on the internet. It's not outside anymore holding a street sign.
No.
We must protect the First Amendment.
So, U.S. shutdown sends airlines scrambling as travel chaos looms. This is getting worse. So,
I'm not going to make it to Texas on Monday, am I?
I don't know, man. Are you leaving on Monday?
I always travel at the worst time, man. I have no luck, man.
Yeah, it's bad right now. I wouldn't. And this is during the holidays. I wouldn't fly right now. I would drive.
And I would also say, as a Texan, you guys should really worry more about the Californians right now, bro. Like what they're doing.
Oh no, it's yeah.
Like,
but I mean, are you moving for good? You're flying. Why don't you drive?
Well, I gotta go get the place first, man.
Oh, I got you. Okay, but so you are moving. Where are you moving? Dallas?
So for the record, just so they know, I was born in Texas. Okay. I never lost.
You're moving back. You're moving back.
I was born in Houston, but
So you're gonna start wearing a Longhorns hat or what?
I'm gonna buy a cowboy hat. I'm gonna get a boot. I swear to God. I was at the opening of Cowboy Stadium.
You're kidding me, dude.
I was there for that. I love Texas. I love how proud Texans are. I love how much they support like really like the Bill of Rights, First Amendment, Second Amendment. I love that they're spiritual people. I love that it's the Bible Belt. I love that I see massive churches. How could I not want that compared to what else is going on out there? Like, you got to be an idiot. I don't care if you're a Muslim or a Christian. You got to stop and say, wait, they believe in God. They believe in family. They believe in the nuclear family. They believe man should, like how can I not at least have some respect? How hard is this, bro?
No, I agree. You want me to give you a confession?
Conservative, man. But what's going on politically, I can't explain. Go ahead.
So I used to have a BB gun. And so I told her I had Muslim neighbors, right? And so he would go out and pray. And every time he would bend down, I'd pop over the fence with a BB gun and bing, shoot him right in the ass. I was only like 8 or 9 years old. You know what I mean?
You get forgiven for that because you don't have knowledge. You're a young boy.
No, he was a nice man. He was a nice. I still know him. He's still.
I love that you wake up in the morning. People say, "How are you?" They hold the door. Like, it's the only place that feels normal left in all of America, man. Like, nothing else feels like America. I go to LA 3-4 times a year to do pods. I've been all over the country. And the only places that feel kind of normal is Florida and Texas. That's it. Everything else is, God help us, man. God help us.
So nearly 2/3 of young Americans have considered moving abroad. So 63% of young adults ages 18 to 34 and 53% of their parents have considered leaving the U.S. due to the state of the nation. Half of all adults report signs of loneliness, while I think that's the internet. While 69% say they needed more emotional support this year than they've received. Man, they don't have any fucking grit, huh? They no work ethic, grit. They're getting the hell out of here. This is why people are voting in communists, because they don't have a work ethic. The younger generations don't want to work. They want handouts. They think they're entitled to everything.
But
they're leaving because they don't like the way the world is going or the country's going. So they want to go, I guess, where they, I guess, communism. I guess they want communism.
Let them go try it, bro. Let them go see it. Let them go try what it's like. As we're being pushed into a crypto technocracy, that's where this all leads. Yeah. All signs point to Rome, okay? I don't see how we ever pay back this debt. Look how much groceries cost, man. Inflation's through the roof because they keep printing. They need someone to pin this on. They need someone to distract from what's coming. A global reset, a crypto technocracy for the entire world, or as you Christians would say, a mark of the beast system, brother. And it's well on its way. You guys should be more worried about Palantir. Who controls that? Not the Muslims. Yeah. You should be worried about this technocracy that we thought Orange Guy was going to save us from. He's at table like that with Bill Gates eating dinner. Brother, I've said this. I went viral for this. Yeah, did I push for him to win? Because it's like, well, hope maybe, Hail Mary, maybe someone's going to say, ain't no one coming to save us, Nino. We got to save each other. We have to protect the Constitution, Bill of Rights. If we don't, we're finished, bro. We're cooked. They'll give you low-hanging fruit, Nino, as long as they move the goalposts.
I don't have any doubt that we're headed into the beast system. I think we've stalled it a little bit, but I think it's coming. I have no doubt. I bring up on my show all the time Palantir, and I have guests on that are they're directly against all that. So yeah, I've always said the pendulum swings to the left is going to swing really far to the right.
If you were the creator of that system, what a beautiful.
Oh, everyone
look over here. 1% of the population
with open arms, embracing it.
1% of your population is what you should be worried about. That has no real influence on your politics, your life, nothing. Pay attention to this. while we give it to you like that.
No,
You guys want to worry about Muslims, worry about Muslims, but you guys got bigger problems, bro.
Yeah, it's all
You don't see it.
distractions. I'm not
Good luck.
disagreeing with you there. I'm not.
Good
That's why I
luck.
brought you on the show. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
No, I know you. I'm just speaking in general.
All right, so nobody wants to be the next Charlie Kirk. That's what it
No,
looks like.
Not me. Not me.
Kanye wants 𝗵𝗂𝗏. I don't know what that means. Kanye meets with Rabbi Pinto, rapper who released Heil Hitler song, blames his anti-Semitism on bipolar disorder. So he's saying, hey, look, I'm sorry. So now he's going to those people, the people in the Middle East, the small country in the Middle East, to ask for forgiveness, folks.
Say it. You're a free American. Say it.
Yeah, fuck that. I want to leave my channel.
Say it. You're a free American.
In a totally bizarre meeting with Rabbi 𝗬𝗏cie𝗂𝘁𝘁, rapper Kanye West, who has made countless blatantly anti-Semitic statements, including releasing a song titled Heil Hitler, apologized for his actions, claiming that it is due to his suffering from bipolar disorder. Well, that's believable, at least.
I mean,
I think he does have bipolar disorder. Look, man, no doubt about that. Sydney Sweeney refuses to apologize for the American Eagle Jeans ad after GQ's Catherine Stoffels continuously tried to bait her and make her cave. Did you see this?
They're still talking about Sydney Sweeney's ass,
Oh,
bro.
dude, they're
still,
trying to. They're
from
going
the first
after her.
ad, from that ad a couple months ago.
Yeah,
they're still
yeah,
talking about this.
Oh yeah,
We got bigger problems, brother.
I know, but look what they're doing. Well, they're trying to create they're ripening the war here. They're ripening the war. So she's going to be a Christian right nationalist, white pride, the whole thing. That's what they're trying to make her out to be. And this person here, the person interviewing her, obviously is trying to bait her. I don't know if people saw this, but
she's probably a plant. Industry
what's that?
plant. She's a plant, probably.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What do you think of people like Nick Fuentes, by the way?
There's a lot I agree with.
With Nick Fuentes?
There's a lot I agree with. I mean, listen, I'm not into the whole race thing, bro. I think it's a weapon that's being used.
But do you think he's an agitator? Do you think he's a plant?
I don't know. I really think the way he's speaking, it's hard to rule out because I think he would have got kirked already. I really do. So I don't know, man. But there's a lot that I agree with. I think his views of Islam's a little off. I mean, a lot, actually. But I think he's focused on the wrong thing, too. But, I mean, listen, the one thing I got to give him is he hates.
You don't think he's here to stoke the fire?
He's definitely stoking the fire. But you know what's the only thing you could say about it? At least he hates everybody the same. You got to give him that. He hates
That's what I say.
Everybody the same.
That's what I say. You want to stick around for some what the fuck news?
That sounds like fun.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
in what the fuck news, Robo Taxi runs over and kills popular cat that greeted people in a corner shop. The unofficial mayor of a busy San Francisco street is dead after being struck by one of Waymo's self-driving cars.
Oh, man.
Kit Kat, the beloved pet cat at Rhonda's Market, was run over by an automated car on October 27th. He was rushed to a hospital by a bartender working nearby us, but was pronounced dead. Kit Kat's death has sparked an outpouring of fury and sadness from those who loved him and questions about the dangers posed by self-driving cars. So I guess they're not made to watch out for cats or dogs running across the road. But I guess, you don't want those cars to swerve, right? You want them. Geez, what about a ball and a little kid goes by?
Have you been to the West Coast yet since they've launched that?
Bro, I've been in those cars. I don't like it. I feel uneasy.
Can I tell you how crazy it is, bro?
Yeah.
When I say crazy, look at this, bro. This is me in LA a couple weeks ago. Look at this. 7 of them in a row picking everyone up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Not a single driver, Nino. Not a single driver in any of them.
Wild.
Okay, what's the Uber guy gonna do, bro? Like, we're in such trouble.
Jobs are going.
We're in such trouble, not just as Americans, man, as humanity. Like, and we're participating in our own destruction. We're like cheering it on. Like, do I like the fact maybe I don't have to get into an Uber driver with some smelly dude? Like, yeah, I mean, I would like that. But I'm scared of what comes after, brother. Turning off the car. You didn't behave. You don't have enough currency.
That's exactly where it's going. It's convenience now, and then it's control.
We are in such trouble.
As convenience will turn into control, correct?
100%. As far as freedom is concerned, for any human, I don't care where they live, with what they're trying to pull off, which I do believe is an antichrist agenda. 100%. As a Muslim, I say it as an antichrist agenda. One supreme leader of the entire world. How do you think he's going to rule? Now, you saw the Amazon thing came out, right? They had a, which I couldn't believe, like, why Amazon? Like, that was weird to me. The fact that
Are you talking about the fulfillment places?
no, Climate
using
Trails. Climate Trails, the documentary.
Oh, I don't want to know about that.
I got over 1.5 million views just by putting the ad of showing like, hey, this documentary is coming out, and everyone's like, and then I just watched it. I paid for it. The opening Air Force. She was in the Air Force, bro. She retired because what she discovered. Like, this is real shit, man.
Oh, you're talking about the planes in the air.
Yes, man.
Yes,
it's real.
yes.
It's real. I've been saying it for years. Everyone thinks we're idiots.
I was the crazy guy 15, 20 years ago talking about it, and everyone's, oh, you're nuts. That's a contrail. And I'm like, okay, all right.
What I think it is, Nino, is it definitely blocks out.
Be careful here, you know.
I know. I think it blocks out important components of the sun.
I agree.
That are essential to us as human beings. It's not just about aluminum and all that bullshit. I think I'm sure there's some impact from that. I think the reason we're all vibrating so low, and we feel like, why does it just everything feel off? Why does everyone seem so like down? I truly believe, my heart of hearts, after following this for so long and putting peace, I believe whatever they're spraying is blocking certain parts of the sunlight that make us elevate higher. We already know medically that people do better when they're outdoors and exposed to the sun when they're healing. So imagine they're dimming certain parts of the sun.
That's why I got the red light therapy, dude. That's why I use red light therapy. I think that has taken the place of it. Obviously, nothing takes place of what God has given you, but this shit works. The red light therapy. You should.
Is the red light like solar-based light? Is that what that is?
It's like frequencies. It's certain frequencies that your skin heals to. You're at a cellular level. So you should watch it. It's
very off.
Beck, thank you for coming on. I had a great time with you. I hope my audience enjoyed you. Let's take some super chat questions real quick.
Can we just avoid Armageddon, bro? That's all I'm like. Can we push it for another generation at least, bro?
I'm with you on that, man.
At least one generation. Let our boys get to their 20s and 30s. Let them at least have a couple days of fun, man.
All right, 𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗏, thank you so much. Super sticker. Thank you, Kelly. What else we got here? Quentin B. Nino, hey, a little off topic, but Juan's phone is always cutting out at the wrong. I know. The wrong times. Can't he get an encrypted phone from his friends? Appreciate both you and Juan. Please ask Juan. I'll ask him that. I agree with you. I can't stand it. It sucks. It pisses me off.
I'm actually going to hit the prayer.
Super sticker. What's that?
I got to get to prayer by 1:15. So you got me for 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, we'll get going. It's all right. Let's get maybe one of these is for you. Let's get to the next one.
Nice.
Maria P. Blessings, my sober brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, by the
Mario,
way,
sorry, I thought I said Maria.
Congrats on that, by the way. I was with you in the beginning when you started.
Yeah, man. I'm going on 6 years, dude.
I'm 13 years, man.
You're 13 years sober.
This Muslim used to drink too. Don't worry, I used to drink like a fish.
And you know what? I don't regret any of it.
I don't miss it at all, though. Zero.
I don't regret it, but I definitely had to fall hard, bro. Fall hard. Junior Mendoza, Alberino is an awesome guest. Been following him a while. You should try to get on Gary Wayne. Christian Contrarian has 45 years of research on prehistory, all the different types of Nephilim, secret societies, and prophecy, etc. I'll check that out, Junior. Thank you so much. Big contribution right there. Thank you. Revived Cold Brew, a former Muslim, has said they will vote for the left to destroy the right. Interview by filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza captures this. They said the right are too strong. What do you have to say about that?
Well, again, these people might be coming from the perspective of the right always starts the wars in the middle. To me, both sides are the only thing they agree on is war. So,
but if you had to take a side, whose side are you going to take? Ooh,
right,
the right side.
Well, I don't support removing life from the womb.
Okay, so here's a question for you, Oscar.
I don't support same you know what?
Yeah.
But how can I cannot support that and say I believe in God? I'm sorry, I just can't.
I agree. Oscar talk. Question for Beck. What about an unbeliever?
Non-believers. I pulled it up in the verses. Go look at what I was showing you. You do not force.
But are they so non-believer? Are they what? I mean,
the Quran only mentions
death.
The Quran only mentions, in context of the life of the prophet, the people that were trying to eradicate him, his own family, and his own clansmen. It is not talking about humanity on a whole and non-believers as a whole. Okay.
So a direct threat that is coming into your house, housejacking, someone trying to carjack you. Okay.
Brother, you know that during the time of the prophet, a man actually walked into a mosque and peed. Okay. There's probably places right now around the world. If a guy walked in and peed in the mosque, they'd probably, like you said, they would probably chop his head off. What did the Prophet Muhammad do? He went to the guy and said, you don't do this in this place. It's a house of God. And he just said, get a bucket of water and clean it, and then he'll let the guy go.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, do we want to go back to its inception, what it means, it's like
so forgiveness.
But brother, 10 commandments, man.
Okay.
None of us are following them. If we followed God's 10 rules, we wouldn't have any problems on earth.
All right. Saturn 1985. If Muhammad is the prophet, where does Jesus fall into all of this then? And also, how old was Shia when Muhammad married her?
He's talking about a classic Muslim attack. The Prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old, first and foremost. And I'll clarify that very quickly also. Do you think someone that's 12 or 13 should be getting married in today's world?
No.
Okay. Most Christian historians will agree that the Virgin Mary was between 12 and 14 at the time of inception of Christ. That's the age range. Okay. Let me finish. It is. You can say it all.
I've heard. Yes, I've heard that.
So by today's world, the father would be considered what you guys try to say.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, the Arabs were illiterate before the time of the Prophet Muhammad. It was called the Age of Ignorance. They were not a people that kept good records. They were an oral people, as many traditions were. Aisha herself would not have known her own age during the time of the Prophet, like when she was, how old she was. So the hadith are transmitted the same way the gospel of Christ is. I heard this, I heard that. Okay, it's third person. So, in the way of the world, when a woman had her menstrual cycle, that's why they have bar mitzvah, right? Bar mitzvah is 13 in the Jewish tradition. Age 13, I'm letting the whole world know.
So you're like grass on the field, play ball.
No, I'm not glass on the field, play ball, because if someone tried to marry a 12 or a 13 or a 14-year-old girl today, I would hang them off a tree. Bro.
I agree. And if you look at like the 1800s and things like that, women were getting married at 12, 13, 14 years old.
My grandparents were engaged without even meeting each other, bro, in the womb. So engagement and consummation. The only thing we truly know as Muslims is that she was past the age of consummation. She was engaged before him. If he was into young ones, then why was his first love of his life 25 years? She was 20 years older than him, brother.
Yeah.
But if we look at the world, it was after a woman had her menstrual cycle. That's not just Arab culture, the entire world.
Okay.
The age of consent. Hey, age of consent in Delaware.
I'm running short on time.
But that's
Info
a whole
Warrior 107. Nino asked Best Lover if Jesus is Allah's son.
No,
not same God. Jesus, Yahweh is the only way. Much love, bro.
Yeah, we don't believe he's God's son, but we believe.
Okay, so there it is.
Yeah, but okay, but is that difference enough that we should wipe each other out? Because I don't think we should. Wipe each other out, easier.
No. But you just said it. So you that was very confusing in the beginning.
It's not confusing. I said he's a prophet of God. We believe he's just another prophet. I was
asking in the very beginning.
Yeah. He came after John the Baptist. John the Baptist told us he would come. He came down. He delivered his message to the Israelites. They didn't accept him. And then if the Israelites would have accepted Christ, there would have never been 3 religions.
All I know, man, is
there would have only been one religion.
All I know is
there would have only been one religion.
Do not tremble
in
the name of Muhammad or Buddha. They tremble in the name of Jesus Christ. And with that being said, brother, we're out of here. I'm out, folks. Later. Beck, I'll hit you up later.
Brother. Adios.
Later. All right, folks. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. Later.